smashing. Your one's my threes, your four's my five.
It's about now from here over at Yorkshire. Unfortunately, version 2 was killed in the gaming community for 8 weeks. People are so passionate. So the only time I get played it was going to happen. This is the second time I've managed to get chips on the ball. But it's not.
Whoa, lordy, that's a noisy room. Okay. Welcome to day one of the third Nerf Herder event, this time held in Stockport, Manchester. Last 2 years it's been held in Hull. If you've been listening just now, you'll have heard the organiser, Carl Walker. He's the person responsible for this this tournament. If you're a real old school first follower, you'll remember that my very first UK tournament was the Yavin Open in. Sorry, I'm having a bit of a crash in my head. Need to get some sugar. Hang on a sec. Okay, my very first Open was the UK, the very first system Open in the UK, the Yavin System Open at the UKGE 2016 in June 2016, and at that tournament. I just happened to have a small interview with Carl Walker where he revealed his plans to run the UK's first large-scale charity-themed tournament to be the first Nerf Herder that November. Since then, there have been 2 editions, back-to-back one by both George Delapina, also known as Rasta Mace, the first year, and Simeon Delapina, now our crowned world champion, the second year running. So it's definitely got a high pedigree. It definitely draws a lot of interest of players from the north of England. And there's even been a large contingent from the south have come up this year. We've even got people coming down up from as far away as Bristol. Okay, we are joined by Robert Ramm and James Finlayson. They've been on the stream before as well. James Finlayson I met at the first UK System Open back then. He made it to the final of a regional on the Friday, and he helped me commentate on the final of the Yavin System Open that was won by Andrew Patterson. Okay, so on the other side of the table, we've got Robert Ramm. Robert Ramm was famous for going to the Italian National earlier this year before the UK System Open, where he made it to top 8 or top 4, I can't quite remember, but did really well at the System Open this year as well. So we've seen the list they've got on the screen. You're looking at Jakku Gunrunner, Skull Squadron, Rare Renfell with a dorsal turret on Robert's side of the table. And James has got Palab Gadalhi, Moldy Crow, Boba Fett, Han Solo, Marauder, Forlom with, of course he has to have a Marauder before he has Han Solo, and Forlom with Trickshot, Triple O, Advanced Sensors, and Mist Hunter. Oh, what's the correct, should we say 000? 000? 000. 000. I'm going to be opening the chat momentarily. And today we've got some of the new systems set up, and there's stuff going on behind the scenes. But one of the problems is going to be doing interviews, because the space I've got here is a little bit limited. So when we do get interviews, whether or not we'll be able to get both of us on camera at the same time might be difficult. You're going to have a quick look at my little recording booth I've got here. That's pretty much it. That's as far as I can move that way. This is the table. And then this way I've got the judge with the cryo decks. But there we go. So, planning dials. Looks like we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 dials down on. We've got all the dials down, and James is using those sexy Coruscant dial covers. Oh, and that's why he complained that he had to use my damage deck, because he's got his sexy Coruscant damage deck as well. But oh well, sorry James. This is about the audience. You're going to have 6 more games today, at least 5 more games today at least, where you're going to be able to show off all those new shinies you've got from your trip to America. James made it to the top as well at Coruscant System Open. Did amazingly well. It was a very competitive field. I've got to shut down the application that's using my camera so I get more battery time out of this. This guy was, what was his name? Scott what? What was the other name we had to edit? Scott Walker? No.
Sean Milligan.
Sean Milligan. Just making sure I got all my stats up to date. Jason Denton.
2 seconds, guys.
Cav 4. Matt Whitton. What's all that about? Adam Shipley. X-Wing Dad. Let's fix that as well. You see, you give people information, they pay no attention to it. You tell everyone, name your list, NF3 and a space, and then your name. And people show up with all sorts of silliness. Cryodeck space roll 59. What is it?
You've just opened the curtains, so it's affecting your light. Just saying.
Oh no. Luckily, these guys have been on stream before, so they know what's going on. I think.
See, this is the thing I was thinking about before I create my list. So I could have this list of 10 round, and it's got like a 12-point bid, but that isn't big enough because I've input at the moment.
We can actually hear the table mic. Obviously, I've turned it down a bit because there was so much noise. Though we can still hear them talking.
On some of the lists, you would want it's running nice, but it's got quite some of the lists that you would want collision text or whisper.
Oh, this thing's got moved. The camera's got moved. I'm missing all of James' side of the table. I'm way over on Robert's side. I have to fix that after this round. So, of curious note, the instructions we put up for how to submit your list for the tournament, 84 people followed those correctly. 33 people made the mistake of changing the F to the H, but that's permissible, and 20 people just showed up with whatever the hell. It's not important. At the end, it's not important. It's just this curious little detail of how people just went NH, and it was my error putting NF. I do it all the time. My wife's initials, I always put BFN because her surname ends in N, like for some silly thing that goes on in my brain. And NF3, it could have been, but at the end of the day, that thing is only there so that when you look for the list in your app, it's easy to find. Yeah, because if you end up having like 100 lists with your name for other tournaments, then. Okay, let's get onto the chat. Now, yesterday it was giving me silliness. It was like, I'm not connecting to chat. Alright, now it says welcome to chat, and that doesn't seem to be moving. Press play. Okay, yeah, that's working now. Let's make it small again. No, hide that. Make it small. Oh, this button here. There we go. Yeah, there we go. Okay, so I'm on chat now. Just turn that volume down. Where's the volume? Why is it not moving? Ah, there it is. Okay, cool. Okay, so yeah, we're ready to go. And it looks like he's definitely focusing down on Bobber, while the Mist Hunter and Palop, Fulham and Palop, kind of move in. Let me take a look here. So we end up having 132 players today.
Is that the spot prizes gone? Okay, the spot prizes have gone.
What was the spot prize?
First round spot prizes have gone.
What was it? What was the spot prize?
3 natural raids.
First round, first one to roll out 3 natural raids or 3 crits. The lunatic got the lolly with
Oh, okay.
I'm glad you moved the microphone.
Yeah.
a pair of Thug Life glasses. So it's just
What glasses?
You know Thug Life that you see on Facebook.
Oh, right, okay, yeah, those pixel art ones. Oh, okay.
Yeah. So it's just a bit of fun. We did it last year with.
No, yeah, I just wanted to make sure people knew what was going on.
Yeah. So just a little bit of fun.
So it was the first person to roll 3 natural evades or 3 hits?
Or either 3 natural evades or 3 natural crits. So
right.
It's a nice, easy one for the first round. We'll start coming up with things like quickest kill or quickest 200-0 win, for example, as we start to get further on in the day.
And they took away a lollipop with a poo emoji and the plastic glasses. Okay, cool.
I can show you some.
Yeah, go on, bring me some so I can put them on. Okay, so he's got 2 hits, it looks like 1 evade and 2 blanks. He spends a focus. And he's taken a shield off of Bobber, I believe. As I've got the camera in Forlom. Wow, Forlom's got loads of shields now. Where's that much health? Okay. And Bobber kind of boosted back round, or what did he do to get back round there? He did a hard turn. He must have boosted. I'm distracted by this whole spot prize thing. Okay. Robert's lost a shield as well. And on Robert's side of the table, everything's A-OK. So, a good start. For Robert, at least. Getting a couple of hits in. Right.
Reserve the challenge.
Okay, so here's the poo emoji, and I can put them on?
Yeah.
Okay. So, this is what somebody just won. There you go. Okay. Let me switch the camera back round. Okay. Thank you very much, Carl. What flavour is it? What did you say? Cola flavour. Ah, I hate cola flavour lollies. It says cola, yeah? Okay.
Originally, 6 was a hand like that.
Yeah. Okay, so full on firing back and not getting any damage to stick.
Yeah, I put the match slips
And now they've gone back to dials. I messed up earlier. I thought they'd come back to dials, but James had some dials left. Oh, let me put the timer up and not fix the timer. 1 hour and 5 minutes left to go in the round. That's the timer from the last final I did, I think. The store championship went really fast. Chrono. Turn that down. Turn that up to 5. Start. There we go. Everything's up and running now. Thank you very much for joining us, everybody. Like I say, we've got a full day of X-Wing ahead of us, 6 rounds, 132 players, and then we will be going into top 16 tomorrow. And as we said before, this is... hang on a sec. No, that's not what I want. That's not what I want either. Okay, so the large number of the proceeds from this event are going to the Hull Royal Infirmary as the charity of choice this year. So I think it's something like 25% of the ticket sales is going to that charity. They are also having an auction later on today and a raffle. And there's plenty of other stuff going on. That camera's been shifted during the night. Yesterday it was fine. God knows what's happened. So I think it's probably me messing around earlier. I was putting stuff down on the tabletop. I think I probably knocked it, shifted it over a little bit. Oh well. As I say, after this round I'll fix that, make sure it's nice and fixed. We've got that Mandalore system open playmat. Now it's getting a bit chilly. Lots of big names taking place this weekend. We've got Simeon Delapina, who I can see just across the hall from me. Dale Cromwell, fresh from the Minot Open and the Italian national champion very recently. We've also got Simeon's father playing, Rasta Mace. Who else? Phil GC's here today. Jesper's here today, Jesper Hills, and Alex Burt from the 186 podcast as well. Phil GC I already mentioned. Who else? Who else are big names I can mention? Trying to think who are the ones to watch this weekend. I mean, those 5 are definitely up there. Okay, so definitely zeroing in now with the Skull Squadron and the Quad Jumpers moving up. They've got some tractor beams out. And it looks like Bobber is the target of choice at the moment, although probably escapes the arc of the number 2 Skull Squadron. True, it's Jesper. His actual name on the ranking and pairings will appear as Jesper Hills / Winstrom. I've noticed that at the Nordic Championship as well, he used the name Jesper Hills. I guess it's kind of like a Tina Turner sort of thing. Yeah, where two hits and a blank, re-rolls for a focus, thinks about it, changes it, spends the focus, and Robert gets an evade and a focus. Damage cards going on. We've got 1, 2 onto Skull Squadron number, Jakku Gunrunner number 2. Oh, where the hell are all the hit points for those dudes? What's happened there? Oh, okay. I apologise. Let me try and keep an eye on what's going on, and I'll try and see what's happened, try and get it fixed. No idea. Why is it showing up as just the name but not the bar? It makes no sense. Maybe it's something to do with the fact they don't have shields? No, that can't be it. 1, 2, 3, 2 and a crit, and he rolls. A focus, spends the focus, takes shields, looks like... Yeah, okay. So the mist hunt has lost at least another shield. It looks like he might even just have one left. So yeah, I figured that with Jesper, maybe it's a question of being a Tina Turner sort of situation. That he's become so well known for Jesper Hills, changing his name probably caused a bit too much confusion, so he decided to maintain the Hills moniker. 3 more hits onto Jakku Gunrunner number 2, and down and out, which you can't see, but the points at least are working. Why has he gone? Why is he lying? It makes no sense that it's there for Drea, but not for the other ones. Oh, I don't know. And a hit, crit goes through. It's that's a blinded pilot. Stun pilot, sorry. Stun pilot. After you execute maneuver, if you move through or overlap an obstacle, suffer 1 hit in normal damage. On Jakku Gunrunner number 1.
It's already gone. It's gone. It's already gone. You can keep shouting evades at me, but as I said, it's already gone.
It was quite obvious. It would have gone a lot quicker than that. You know? Okay. Not much space here for the guys to move around the table. Once there are players on that other table, it was quite difficult for me to get along to speak to James. Jesper for now has been playing the same list he took to Coruscant. Palob, Fen and Old Terok. Played it went 6-0 with an amazingly high MOV at the Coruscant Championship, and then lost in top 16 against Roger Jesk. Then went to Nordics and did quite poorly, only won 2 games out of the 6. So obviously he's sticking with it and for this weekend to see if he can maybe try and nail down the finer points. Looks like Bobber's in some serious trouble, but not taking much damage for it, so who knows. And Palob just keeps edging along, using that turret to try and make some effective attacks. I have to try and work out why this list isn't loading the hit points. thinks this idea is destroyed. And why would it be destroyed? Did I mess something up? Pirate skill. Okay, I don't think I can fix it for this match without having to create a whole load of mess in the back end. Take a look at while I'm at it. Take a look at the file, maybe. So yeah, James definitely in a delicate position here. His bobber's being pushed and pushed. Stressed and stressed. Not able to clear that stress with that 2-turn. And with the tractor beam tokens as well. Why is it like that? Max hull. Remaining hull. Yeah, this is red 2. Yeah, that's okay. But then, max hull. Max shields. It says destroyed. Why is it destroyed? Should be alive. Okay, let me see if I can fix this maybe. It still doesn't make any sense. Red ship 3 is alive. Why isn't that one showing? So it's not that either. Is large, no, true. Alive. Pilot skill 1. Right, 28 points. That shouldn't do it. That shouldn't do it. Let's just double check though. Save. And let's go here. And let's try and make it update. Losing shields, Andrea. Not whole point shields. So focus and hit, re-rolls for a blank, gets a focus, takes damage on Boba Fett. Yeah, it's 2 damage cards on Boba Fett. Yeah, sorry guys, like I say, I'm a bit distracted. I'm trying to work out why that, out of all the, there's nothing's really changed as far as that thing's concerned, so why am I getting a 0 on this? It's gone again. Okay, what about if I go over here? Let's try this. It might have something to do with it actually. Oh, I see. There we go. What silliness. Yeah, all fixed, guys. Little bit of a thing I have to do in the back end quickly before the next round, but yeah, everything understood. Okay, let me get back to work. So Skull Squadron, yeah, it's got a stun pilot. Jakku Pilot's got a stun pilot. Jakku Pilot 2 is down. Skull Squadrons have not been hit yet, and are gently pursuing Bobber towards the board edge, towards the top right corner of the board. Bobber slowly creeping along, making sure they can fire at Bobber. Basically, he's like saying, "Yeah, I don't mind. Keep shooting, Bobber. It gives me something. I can do something with the other ships meanwhile." But like, it looks like to me like the list is becoming desperately stacked against James, just because of the sheer number of fire he's having to support. I'm trying to fix the little error I found. Okay, max shields. If this is equal to this, then fix the problem. Okay. Why was it not doing it itself though? Oh, because it was getting all the should have changed it. Sorry, just drop it into that box, I think, isn't it? No? Okay. I'll just drop it on. Yeah, in the box, it's fine. Judge! Have you got one? Have you got a judge? From my part. Hey. Bobber's done like a pretty good job of escaping, but damn. He's in a bad situation. So 2 blanks, re-rolls, gets 2 blanks. Oh, there was a hit there. And rolling. 2 focus. Okay, so you've got 3 hits and an evade, loses the shield and takes damage on Drea. So, Moldy Crow now, Palob firing on, looks like he wants to fire on the first Skull Squadron. Skull Squadron 1. Blank and focus, re-rolls the blank for a hit, spends the focus. 1 focus and 2 blanks, takes 2 hits on Drea. Okay. I want to say hello to all of our Antipodean friends joining us from Australia and New Zealand. Will,
yeah.
You were the dude that was outside the Hilton Hotel that one time, the X-Wing royalty guy, yeah?
Yeah.
Right, okay, now I'm remembering.
Yeah, because I did it online.
Yeah, no, yeah, I know. It's just like, it's hard when you meet someone for like 5-10 minutes and then you have to remember them.
And you were extremely drunk.
I wasn't. Not at all. I had not drunk anything. Okay. So yeah, Rob's got an interesting turn coming up here because Bobber's basically escaped him and he's got Forlorn behind him. It's going to be hard to keep the pressure on Bobber, especially with half of his list being stressed. Here we go. So Jakku's slooping.
First result.
Ah, damn.
And Bobber's straighting, please. Pepsi. Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah, and Paolo with the ion cannon turret, just able to just. He's not got a turret. He's got like a turret primary, isn't it? Is that right? Because I'm confused with second edition. There's a whole bunch of stuff I'm still not sure about. I played last night, if you were lucky enough to tune in. I played a game against James Humphrey, and there was some confusion regarding how we were supposed to do barrel rolls and stuff like that with a medium-based ship. So there's this really specific stipulation about the hash marks and what your final position has to be. Take system open target locks and glue a 2x1 Lego piece onto it so you could put a minifig on it. That's crazy. And that's going to be Forlorn, isn't it? Yeah, it's Forlorn. He's got a little Forlorn target lock. Huh. Yeah, like I say, it's hard for Robert to keep putting the pressure on Bobber here, and he might just have been kited halfway across the board for nothing, leaving Palob and Forlom to do most of the heavy lifting from behind. Still, though, they've got to do some work. They want to try and get Dreyer off the table, and then just be left with 3 non-plus ships to be able to just gently pick off while they still try and chase down Bobber. New squad. Low battery, I'm going to have to bring my charger in. Standard. Not Rebel. Scum. That's shit. HWK. Whatever. Yeah, it's got a primary turret, yeah. And it can't take another turret. Oh, we've got damage cards going off like crazy. We've got a direct hit. We've got 2 direct hits, 3 direct hits. No, that one's a structural. No, what's it called? I had all these memories. Structural damage. Man, crazy damage onto Dreyer and Foul. And down in one shot. So, Skull Squadron number 2 attacking Bobber, gets 2 hits and a focus, which gets spent, and rolls 2 focuses and evades. Spends the focus to get 3 evades, no damage. Next attack, 3 hits again. Bobber gets, thank you, 2 blanks. Takes 2 damage. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 damage cards now. For me, thank you very much. Man, these people are friendly. They're well taking care of me. They're giving me sausage rolls. They're giving me drinks. Yes, the light is coming from the windows. They had to open the curtains. Last night it was actually pretty good for light in here, but this morning they've had to open up the curtains to get a bit extra light. I guess with so many people around, it must affect the ceiling lights, and that's caused a bit of a shadow coming in from James's side of the table. 1, 2 hits, and he's got at least 2 evades, I think. And now Jakku Gunrunner doesn't have arc on Forlom, and they go back to Dials. So yeah, we're gonna do. This is a charity tournament. 25% of the ticket prices are going to the Royal Hull Infirmary. They're having a charity auction. There's all sorts of stuff going on. One of the things, my way of contributing to this is the Twitch Prime. Okay, Twitch Prime is if you have Amazon Prime, you have Twitch Prime because Amazon owns Twitch. And when you have Twitch Prime, if you weren't already aware, I'll make sure I explain throughout the day. You have they give you like 5 tokens. They call them subscriptions, but it doesn't really work like that in your head. They give you 5 tokens, and those tokens you can tip to channels. You can give to channels, and that's basically the same as giving them money. So all of the Twitch Prime subscribers that we received this weekend, the money raised from this weekend on Twitch Prime will be going to the Royal Hull Infirmary, the charity for the Nerf Herder Free with a Vengeance tournament. So if you haven't subscribed for this month, please feel free to drop your Twitch Prime subscription on there, and that money will be coming. That money will be going directly to the Royal Hull Infirmary Trust, which I don't even think I've told Carl yet, so I'll make sure I mention that to him. But yeah, any Twitch Prime subscribers received this weekend, that money will be going straight to the Royal Hull Infirmary, the charity of choice. So there we are. I'm seeing that Amish Josh Stubby just subscribed with Twitch Prime. That's money that is going to the Royal Hull Infirmary. Because of Twitch conditions, I can't actually mention how much it is. I will explain it to Carl so he's aware of what's going to happen. But yeah, it's what you're doing there with this is free money. This is money that you don't have to pay. You're already a subscriber to Amazon Prime. You've got Twitch Prime. You get these tokens to tip. Just associate your Amazon account with your Twitch account, and you'll be able to just press a button to say, I want to give this person a Twitch Prime subscription. Even though it's not a subscription, it's just a one-off thing every month that you can just drop on. It's like kind of like a tip. Yeah, it's just like you've given you a token for you to tip the channel to begin with, but in this case, we are using that money to go towards the charity. Did you edit those names in there? Yeah?
I haven't done it yet, so I'm going to do it when the results bits come in. I'll double check.
Okay.
I've put on here results slips, so people are putting stuff.
Right. Okay. I couldn't see the front, and I saw that there were pens in there, so I thought maybe that's not such a good idea. Okay, so looks like Forlom attacking on the Skull Squadron, gets a hit and a crit and one evade, takes one crit damage face up. No? Okay. It was just a normal hit then. Because they've changed, some of the dice have got bigger hits on them now. This one, it's gone from this one. Okay. And two hits and a focus, one blank. Damage card on Forlom. So down to half points there. At least one damage card. I can't see display area, so I'm not really sure. The white dice are always so hard to read on the stream. It's not just that. All of the shiny dice. The only dice that really work well for the camera are the corset dice. I mean, you can see on Robert's side of the table, just in the bottom corner, those dice, you can see clearly what's on those. But then, if you start to look right the way down to in the bottom right of your screen, you can see he's got some transparent, shiny evade dice, one hit. And although they're right, that's literally the closest they can get to the camera, so it's pretty easy to see them. But like, when they're a little bit, you can see that evade that's right the way down the bottom corner of your screen on the bottom left. You can see how that can be a bit hard to tell the difference between that being an evade and a focus at the moment. So yeah, any of the shiny dice just don't work well with the camera. They just pick up too much reflection, too much light, and obscure the image. So. But additionally now, the corset dice, there are some corset dice that come from a different batch of manufacturing and have a slightly larger hit on them that makes it look like when you've got an old corset dice and a new corset dice, you roll them together and there's two hits. Sometimes one of the hits looks a bit bigger and so you think it's maybe a crit. It will always be, in my case, a preference for using corset dice on camera. But at the same time, I recognise that the gamers are particularly fussy about certain things, and I'm already asking them to make a lot of exceptions for me by changing bases and all sorts of other silly stuff using damage decks. So I'm not going to press the issue about dice. Right? You've got the shiny dice, you can use the shiny dice. I'll just complain about it. That'll be the end of that. So Jakku moving up, and it looks like he's tractor beamed Palob onto the rock for now. Palob rolls, gets nothing.
Okay, X-Wing players, 13 minutes left in the round, 3-0 minutes remaining.
There is a slightly darker shade of red on the new corset dice as well, so it makes things look a bit confusing.
Any judges? Judges, stop playing
One
raffle
hit.
tickets.
Stop fixing the raffle. So he's probably going to have to roll again for that rock? Or do you only have to roll once for a rock now? Yeah, so it looks like Robert's decided now that like Bob has pretty much escaped, and he's going to try and do some damage to Drea, get her off. Well, no, he's only got to get one more hit point on Bobber. I mean, it's like, it's so close. You just got to hit him once. Just got to get him in arc. Okay. Yeah, man, a difficult position. Right. James has been kind of trying to scrape his way back, and he's done a pretty good job of it, but he's going to lose Bobber here, I think. Bobber's going to attack first, of course. One crit, one hit, one focus. The focus gets rerolled for being cocked, I guess. Having got cocked again. 2 crits and a hit. Gets 1 evade and 2 focuses. Spends the focus to evade all. Alright, so Skull Squadron's going to fire back. Whoa! 2 hits. 2 evades. Range 1 on Andrea on Forlom. Okay. Yeah, there goes damage onto Forlom. Jesus. 2 damage cards. He's off. I couldn't see that pilot card, so I had no idea what was going on with his health without having to pay really close attention to dice rolls. What's that mean? I've got some bits or... Okay. And they're back to dance. Should angle that camera up a little bit. We're not really getting the top of our heads.
I think the body came up or something.
Carl, there was something I had to tell you. I hadn't told you before. You understand the concept of a Twitch Prime subscription? Have you seen these Twitch Prime things?
No.
Okay, so basically when you've got Amazon Prime, you get Twitch Prime as well.
Which I've got Amazon Prime.
Right. And then on Twitch Prime, because you've got Amazon Prime, they give you like these 3 or 5 tokens that you can kind of give to a stream channel as kind of like a tip.
Yep.
Okay, so what we're saying is that all the ones I get this weekend
Yep.
will be going towards the Royal Hull Infirmary.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
That's something I hadn't told you. So.
Oh, thank you very much. Really appreciate it. So you
I'll
have to show me how to do it, and then I can set mine.
I'll explain you exactly how much that means you're going to be getting later, because it's stuff I can't discuss on stream because of terms and conditions and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But I'll let you know. But for right now, we've got 2 already. So
excellent.
There you go.
Thank you very much, everyone that's doing it.
No problem. We had Amish Josh and Stubby gave us some Twitch Prime money.
Thank you very much, guys.
And it's free money. It's money that you've not got to spend. It's like they give you these tokens to be able to give to streamers as a way of supporting them and as a way of promoting Twitch as a platform. And in the case of this event, everything that's raised through that system will be going straight to the Nerf Header charity this year.
Brilliant. Thank you very much. Thank you. Thank you, everyone. actually, in relation to streaming, my first foray into streaming was your work.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, no,
So I walked past you at Yavin, the
This is
Yavin
full
Open,
circle,
the very
yeah.
first one, and I think you collared me because of our
T-shirts,
t-shirts.
yeah.
Sat down and told you about the first ever Nerf herder.
Yeah.
And prior to that, I've not watched any streaming at all. But yours is one that I watch quite religiously now. So,
Wicked.
Yeah, it is good.
I'm very happy and very fortunate to have been able to do it so long as well. And like last year, it got to a point where it was really desperate. And then I started using Patreon and systems like that to help support me, and that's basically what's been able to make last year possible. Is because beforehand I was having a lot of difficulty with unemployment and difficulties with money. And up until then, I'd been very stringent about saying I want to do this myself. I didn't want support. I wanted to keep it as clean as possible without having to get into that sort of system. But eventually I had to give in, and it's thanks to the support I've received in last year that I've been able to do so many tournaments this year. The last couple of months have been really quiet, but it's just because summer was quiet anyway. There were only like a couple of tournaments, and the tournaments that were there were really difficult for me to get to because I had other commitments.
Yeah.
But now everything seems to. Now we're getting into a season, and now second edition's out, and everything's going again.
I found sort of over the summer anyway as well with the transition from 1.0 to 2.0. I think
it was very difficult.
Yeah. So I was happy to announce this as 2.0. My big fear was initially that would the game take off and be as popular as 1.0 was, and if anything, I mean, me myself, I'm not ashamed to admit, when it came to Nerf Herder last year, I was in a rut. I wasn't enjoying the game anymore. I love the community, but I wasn't enjoying the game. I've been playing 2.0, and obviously with my job, I do struggle. Struggle for time, obviously the shifts that I do. But I love it, absolutely love it. I literally can't get enough of it, and it is much better. And I love that the easy mode lists and triple jumps.
Oh yeah,
they've all gone.
Those combinations. I like the threat stuff and being able to just take stuff out of the box and have a go at it.
I think so. I'm going to say this early, officially.
Yeah.
I tip someone like Dale Cromwell to do really well out this weekend. Cause I think those players that have flown aces and actually had to fly throughout 1.0 will come off really well in this edition.
I think as well, when what we saw in Coruscant, a lot of the cases were the people that did really well took lists that were pretty similar to what they were playing in 1.0 already. For example, Jesper's two Fangs and a Hawk. He's been playing Fangs and Hawks forever. So like it was not, there wasn't that much of a transition for him. Same with Dale. Dale's been playing those Imperial Aces for the last 2 years, and so he's pretty much got that thing down. So transitioning to second edition wasn't too hard for him, and it's worked out really well. And like you say, it was difficult over the summer because, like for example, I did the French Open in June, and that was when we knew second edition was coming. And the problem with the event, that for me, was that the whole conversation was about second edition and not about what was happening. It was all about, oh yeah, well then in a couple of months this will be gone, and we won't have to worry about this, and this will be different. And it was just like, it wasn't really focusing on the conversation of what was happening at the time. And that was something that kind of put me off doing more first edition events, because it was like, it would have meant it would have been the same conversation repeated over and over again. Well, soon we'll have something else and stuff like that. I didn't want to be dwelling on that too much.
I was hoping last year a wave dropped just before the event, so I was hoping that we would have, that's what we had last year. I made it legal because effectively it's not an official event, so it can go either way. I was hoping, because I knew it was this month it's due, I was hoping for the first order conversion kit and the resistance conversion kit out just to make additional lists, just to really mix it up and shock up the meta.
Well, that thing's got to be like within 2 weeks it's going to be coming out or something.
Yeah, we've had a few articles.
They've announced the next wave as well now. They normally do that just when the other wave launches.
Which admittedly, I mean, as part of the raffle, I've put all of my Rebel ships, all of my Scum ships in. I'm an Imperial player, so I've kept my Imperial, I've kept my First Order. I won't lie, I've been looking at Jedi Starfighters, and I've been looking at General Grievous. Hello, come on. So I think definitely there's going to be some extra factions, which is going to get me into trouble.
Yeah, excellent. And I've been asked from the chat if in Hull they're advanced enough to use computers.
He confuses us with Grimsby. Everything south of the Humber is France, as far as I'm concerned, which includes, Warboard, Darksphere, anything south of the Humber is primitive.
Right. I knew it was Grimsby with that photo with the gold pole.
Yes.
Yeah, with that tower in the background. I think I even commented that. I said, it looks like Grimsby.
I'm a police officer. I've been a police officer for 2 years, but I've done 18 months in Grimsby, and I can't lie, it is an absolute dump. The problem is it's such a violent place, unemployment's so high, and the thing is, I think the film Grimsby doesn't do it enough justice. It actually makes it look more classy.
That's right. Yeah, there were a couple of Spanish people saw that film, and they were like, "Is this really what it's like?" In some cases, yes.
Yeah. I mean, don't get me wrong, there are a lot of nice people there.
Yeah,
just,
absolutely.
Obviously, you got to think the job I do. I only go.
It means that you get involved with the people that aren't so savoury.
And because I don't live there, as a result, I don't see the nice stuff. Whereas one of our Hull's Angels squadron players, I know he's not from Hull, but got Pete Newman, who's playing today. He's from Grimsby, and every time I tell him what a dump it is, he gets really upset and goes, "It's lovely, it's really nice." And he tells me where he lives. I think, it's not that nice. Don't lie to me. But no, it's. We don't know how to use computers, whether that was cheeky.
Yeah, it was a Higo. And he also says that Carl does not sound as hungover as he should.
No. I only had a couple of drinks last night. And
a responsible tournament organiser today.
Yes, I've had one drink as we speak to calm my nerves, but after that I won't be touching them until about round 5. It's more important to keep the charity money flowing in, and obviously keep the bar going for Element as well. So obviously those guys have done a great job for us today. So.
Yes, it's a nice big space.
Yes.
Yeah, and we ended up with having 132 players.
Yes.
There were 142 signed up. Yeah.
Yes.
So
the first year we hoped for 70. I'll be quite honest, I told you this when I spoke to you last time. I was hoping to base it on the Steel Open, which is where we got the wrestling belt idea from. In Hull, the biggest tournament we'd ever had was 16 players.
Yeah.
So it was quite ambitious, aiming for sort of 60 to 70 players. I think we finished on around 65, 66, something like that. Did really well, £2,200 for charity. That was the British Heart Foundation.
Yeah.
Last year we aimed for 120, but the venue that we use as a club.
Yeah.
It's an old building with a sports hall upstairs.
Yeah.
So it meant mid-table players was going up and down stairs.
Yeah.
There was a really good space for gaming. What we struggled with this year was I didn't want people to be up and down stairs, especially when we've got a couple of players that aren't very mobile in the first place.
Yeah.
The hall is not available to us anymore because the landlord is basically turning it into flats. So I had the choice of either downsizing or moving to a bigger venue, which obviously the whole point is it wants to get bigger and bigger every year. So we wanted to. The whole point is obviously to get bigger. And Tim, to be fair, did contact me about last year and say about using this venue. It's quite ironic that, in case we haven't worked out, obviously it's a Die-Hard theme with the names Die-Hard or Nerf Header, Nerf Harder, and then this year we've got Nerf Header with a Vengeance. Another game I play is Guild Ball, fantastic game. Their biggest event.
Hull breach on the Skull Squadron there. Sorry, keep going.
That's all right. Yeah, the biggest event for Guild Ball it's actually called Vengeance, and that's actually hosted here at Element Games. So with it being Nerf Header with Vengeance, it was just quite ironic, really, that we came here.
Cool.
It's been good. Hopefully.
Excellent. How much did you earn last year for charity?
£5,500 we did last year.
Okay.
What I would say last year is all of the expenses last year I covered. I was a bit naughty really. I didn't take anything out of my own. I didn't take anything back for myself. Reason behind that was the charity last year was the Jessica Lawson Foundation, which is the 12-year-old girl who unfortunately passed away on a school trip in France. Her family are close personal friends with a close personal friend of mine, Nicola's family. And they needed to raise £10,000 to become an official charity, and they were sitting at around £5,000–6,000. So I said, look, if we might be able to get about £3,000. So when we got the 5,500, it was absolutely amazing. It was such a good result. So I couldn't bring myself to take my money back. This year, obviously, I don't expect, even with more players, I don't expect to do as well because I've had to take my expenses back this year.
Do you get like a running total of how much we've got? Because like then maybe we could do like one of those things like they do on the telephones, don't they? Going up.
I don't at the minute. I mean, I think at last check, I think we've done about 1,400 raffle tickets already. So that's £1,400 already.
Okay, cool.
We've got a rather large auction this year. We've got a lot of really nice prizes for the auction. Originally, I thought there was only about 6 or 7 items, but we've got a lot of movie stills. We've got a lot of autographed Carrie Fisher pictures, for example. So we've got a lot of really nice items that people have brought. So Yeah, we'll see how it goes. We'll see how it goes. I'm hoping people still have a lot of money left at the end of the day. But I can't ask any more of anybody. So even if it stops at £1,400 and that was all we raised, I'd be really happy. But
absolutely,
fingers crossed. Fingers crossed.
Okay, cool. Thank you very much for your time.
No problems. No worries.
So here we go. Yep, let me bring that around here so you can have a chat with someone else. Get this microphone. So I've got very limited space. So he's having I was talking to him over the desk. And we've got a bit of a serious situation here. We've lost Bobber as well while I was talking to Carl, so I apologise for that. Palob facing down 3 ships. Palob not as manoeuvrable as he should be, but we're getting some damage onto those Jakku gun runners. Palob's got 1 shield left. Just a little bit longer, Robert. You've almost got this game in the bag. Robert was playing like 4 Wookiees or something like that in the UK System Open this year. Oh wow, world champion goes 233 in round 1. So yeah, this is pretty much. I mean, James I think is resigned in this game. I mean, he's going to play it out, but I think he's pretty clear that he's not in the situation. So it's just Robert trying to work out how he's going to keep his kill box tracking on Palob with that moldy crow boost.
Half an hour behind. People don't need lunch. Well, I don't need half an hour to prepare today, so we'll slowly get back. I'll do it during the
Let's turn that microphone down in case I knock that cable again. How did you go round 1, Alex? How did you go? Was that a win? Okay. So Alex Burt takes round 1, yeah? Cool. What were you playing against? Right, this is a bad idea. What was it you were playing against?
Simon Mooney.
All right. With?
Who had 2 Sabres and Rexlar with Duke.
All right.
We were both 200 points. I won the initiative roll and got to move after him.
Cool.
And bombs are pretty savage against interceptors, it turns out.
Yeah, because you're playing the double
punishers with all the bombs and Whisper with Vader and Duke at 200 points.
Cool.
Yeah.
Okay, well, good luck for the next one.
Thanks, man.
Thank
Have
you.
fun.
Bye. What did you say? I've got Twitch Prime. It's not bits, it's Prime. It's different. Yeah, we'll do it in a minute. We can do it in between rounds. Okay. Palob's getting a couple of extra points off on the board. Well, no, he's not, because he's not managed to take that ship off, but he was trying for it. And it looks like they go back to Dials again. And yeah, so we're thinking about how obviously James wants to try and get one more ship off the board, try and make sure he's got as many points as he can. He's close to getting either Skull Squadron or Jakku Gunrunner off the board. Both down to 1 hit point. He's just got to get one more damage card onto them to seal a couple of extra points and make his margin a little bit more favourable before we go to before going into round 2. Yeah, but he's not going to be able to escape this round as Skull Squadron number 2 comes around the rock. And the Jakku Gunrunner is not this round, but next round going to close back into range. Maybe that doesn't look like the template overlapped that rock that time. Barrel rolls to the left. Jesper Hill's coming back with a 236 victory in round 1.
I think the plastic gets you. If you come around and look down, I think the plastic gets you. Without even like blaming out, it's like, if you put, I do think you're in off. You come around and look down. Is it possible to swap that feeling to do like quite? I mean, I've made a couple of rooms to not say ingest, so you can try. 2 seconds.
Looks like just fits in next to the rock with a barrel roll to the left. Okay, range 1 attack, Skull Squadron on Palob. 2 hits, 2 evades with the focus. Loses shield. Looks like it must have been like 3 hits now. And firing on the Jakku Gunrunner, no damage. Didn't manage to get extra points off on the table. Jakku Gunrunner returns fire, 1 more hit, evades easily. Back to Dials, dragging this one out for the last 7 minutes of the game. Jakku Gunrunner moves up, focuses. Palob 1 forward. And focuses. Looks like the Skull Squadron 4K returns. And Skull Squadron number 1 decides he's going to try and get back into the fight. So 1 crit. Man. Terrible rolls for Robert Ramm here. Just trying to wrap this game up. Not able to do it. Firing on the Jakku Gunrunner, gets a hit, gets evaded. That Gunrunner's not going down, that quad jumper. 2 hits. If focus means he saves himself. We're back to dials yet again. We've gone through about 4 turns in the last 10 minutes. Robert's got to try and get Skull Squadron number 1 back into the fight with long manoeuvres to be able to get as many guns on. So it's going to take. I mean, he's still got 3 hits left. He's got to just get those hits onto Palob to wrap up this game.
Focus and move out. So yeah, even if I kill to start off somehow, I still win. Even if I kill off
So Palob. Oh no, this is the Skull Squadron number 1 firing on Palob. 3 hits. Palob rolls 2 blanks and a focus. Spends the focus, so only take 2. Down to 1 whole point. Palob firing on Skull Squadron. 2 hits. Skull Squadron rolls, gets 2 evades. Would probably be better firing on the quad, wouldn't he? Quad was going to fire next. And that's the end of it for him. Whoa, I thought we were going to go to time. Okay, cool. Good game from the guys. I'm going to see if I can get an interview, but it's going to be a bit difficult. There we go. That's about as good as we're going to get for camera. Microphone up. Okay, James, commiserations.
Thank you very much.
You could see in the last few turns there, and you guys went through about 4 turns in about 10 minutes, like smashing through them as quick as possible. You were desperate to try and get a couple more points off the board, huh?
Yeah.
Just trying to stick 1 more damage into the Jakku or the Skull Squadron.
That last Skull Squadron on 1 hull. If Bob had managed to nick him before he died, I reckon I may have won that through, but.
Yeah, I mean, if you'd have got that one of them off just a little bit earlier, and then you've got a possibility of maybe staying alive a little bit longer with like the 4 minutes we got left, you could have probably got the other Skull Squadron down to half points, and then you've probably been ahead by like 2 points or 1 point or something like that.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was a good game for you. Did you enjoy it?
Yeah, it was really fun. Rob's a great person to play.
And did it feel to you like it was like an uphill struggle, or because like 3 ships against 5, or?
It didn't, because I was running away. Like my game plan was to shoot and run.
You did kite him along with Bobber quite well.
Yeah. So it was like dodging arcs, and that was the game plan. So it wasn't like I felt oppressed by it.
Yeah.
I think his first engage was great when he caught both the ships with tractors, and I lost all my shields on that in the second engage. It was great. Yeah. From that was the greatest turn. But yeah, from then on, it was good fun.
Yeah.
Yeah,
cool.
Enjoyed
right.
it.
And we've seen your shinies from Coruscant. You've got those nice little dial covers. I'm going to have to come over and have a good look at those because I've not seen them in person.
I love my swag.
And the damage deck. I'm so jealous of that. Yeah. me being a damage deck person, I'm so jealous of that. How did you find the stuff you got from Coruscant? You find it really good?
Really good.
Yeah.
Really good.
Did you pay the 75 for that other tray?
I did. Oh, that's where they get the shirt from.
Yeah. Okay.
The shirt, the tray, and the world's worst mat.
The worst mat.
It's got 3 factions.
Yeah.
And the factions at the top and the faction at the bottom is almost exactly range 2 from the board edge.
Oh right, so you can even judge.
Each of the gaps is like range 2, so.
Oh, you can see that, and that's like official play now. It's an official product.
It's a complete jar as well. So when you got your rocks in it, because it's so busy, so much happening.
Yeah.
It's quite difficult to follow things.
Yeah, absolutely. Wow. Okay, that's cool. Thank you very much for being on stream. Okay. Good luck with the rest of the tournament. Okay.
Good, man.
I'm sure you'll do well. You always do.
Do you want me to send Rob over?
Yes, please. Well done, congratulations. Okay, you won on stream, which is always nice to get rid of that gaff. Or what do you call it, jinx, wouldn't you? Like after losing the last time. And that means you're going on. You're playing with a very different list to what I saw you with last time. Last time you were playing like the 4 Azitooks, yeah?
The triple Wookiees.
Yeah, triple Wookiees, that's right. And you'd done quite well with it in Italy as well, hadn't you, back then when we did the System Open?
Not really.
No?
It was at the Nationals. I went 3-3 there at the Nationals.
All right, okay.
But I'm just sticking with it.
And then you stuck with it and you got to like top 8?
Top 4.
Top 4 at UK System Open. Yeah. Cool. And then this time you've gone a lot more swarm swarmy with like extra double Skull Squadron, double Jakku Gunrunner, Andrea Renfal, and it's worked out pretty well for you in that case. James played the game well to try and take you down by trying to kite you across, making you chase after Bobber.
But I was at the same time I was using the Gunrunner to push Bobber away.
Yeah,
because then the rest can they can clean up for Ramm and try and stay away from Palop and then try and leave Palop for last.
Excellent.
Which sort of worked out.
Yeah.
To what I was trying to go for.
Absolutely. And then, so now, what is it with your list? Have you been playing for long? Is it something you've been very second edition based?
Well, since second edition came out, it's just Fangs. Fangs all the time, like Fenrau and Old Turok. I'm thinking, Fang itself, it's just a solid ship with the Auto Evader at range 1.
Yeah.
It's a case of what else can you put with just a PS4? The 4 is strong as well.
Yeah. And is it... in the case of, you've done well that list, was that against James's list, was that something you saw as being a matchup that you could control?
I didn't know.
Yeah.
Like in my local, Bobber isn't a thing. No one flies Bobber. So we only see Bobber when we go away for tournaments and things. Okay. So it's not really a case of, it's like doing a lot of it on the fly. So I've seen what Bobber can do, but I've never first-hand experienced.
Okay,
so like, 4-Lom's big and 4-Lom's everywhere. But.
Okay, cool. Well, what kind of list do you find yourself difficult against with those guys?
The high ordnance is a bit of an issue.
Yeah.
If someone comes along and it's like, that Jakku's gone, that Jakku's gone, it's like, oh no, my distraction's gone.
Yeah, absolutely, yeah.
Or if I lose a Fang really early, like from ordnance, just alpha will kind of get me. But like other like aces is fine because there's a lot of shots coming in and aces just die now at range and stuff.
Okay, excellent. Well, then that's it for now. Thank you very much for your time, man.
Good
luck with the rest of the tournament.
Thanks for listening.
No, absolutely.
Keep it up, man. It's good.
Thank you. Let's. Right, I need to go to the toilet and do some stuff. Okay, I'll be back shortly. We'll leave you with that camera. Okay. No.